Today, the podcast is about finances. Now, somehow, when I think finances and harmony in relationship, it feels like an oxymoron, but it's a subject in relationships. How money is handled, how money is perceived, how money is divided, is spent, is not spent, is saved. It is another quite challenging subject to explore. So let me start by saying, stating outright that money is power, as simple as that. Whoever has the money has the power. Citra Stone wrote a wonderful book called The Shadow King. And the book is about the inner patriarchal voice that exists and is active in women. So how women carry an inner patriarch whose beliefs and values are exactly the traditional patriarchal rules. So when it comes to money, there is an echo or a loud voice or a whisper in women. I want to start this episode with this point, that always talks the language of a man should make more money. A man should provide for the family. And everything that patriarchal rule is about men and money, and money and women, and the financial responsibility of a man in a relationship. So yeah, even in this era where many women make more money than men, many women are actually the breadwinners of the family. There is a very subtle perception that is something off about this. So a lot of you might disagree with that, and I'm inviting you to disagree. I'm inviting you to let me know. I'm open to your suggestions, but I am suggesting that there is a whisper of this patriarch, the inner patriarch in all of us, about how money, who should be making the most money and how it should be handled by that person. Having said that, and having started the episode with this, I want to say that frequently the finances and how they are handled is one area that has the possibility of creating the most conflict in a relationship, being the greatest obstacle in harmony, for harmony in relationships. How is the money handled between the two partners? There's no written way and rule and the right way to do that. Over the years working with couples, I've witnessed different couples creating their own financial system that looks so different from couple to couple. So I'm not here in this episode to tell you this is the way that finances should be handled in a partnership, in the relationship. No, sorry if that's what you expected. However, I'm here to tell you two things. There are some natural consequences if certain systems are utilized, and you have to decide what to do with that. And there's actually a way to at least handle, discuss, dialogue about the finances in the relationship that can soothe, can help you reach a solution that might work better. So let's start with what are some natural consequences to certain systems. And I'm starting with the cases, the systems where whether is the, it doesn't matter which of the partners. And of course, whatever I say about heterosexual relationships automatically applies to homosexual relationships, because in a partnership, there is always a slight elevation of power. So the partner who decides, chooses, or is asked to stay out of any information about the finances in the relationship gradually becomes the child of the other partner. You start creating a parent and a child. Whoever knows about the finances, and that person, by the way, might not be the person that actually creates earns the money in the relationship. Maybe someone else, one works and one doesn't work, and the one that works handles all the finances to the other. So whoever knows about the finances, and there's a power there, and whoever doesn't know anything, meaning how much money comes in, what it costs to run the household, how their purchases affect the finances of the household, of the relationship. They never go to check the bank accounts, what bank accounts are there, how are they divided. So the part that is ignorant and stays ignorant about the finances becomes the child. That is not a good idea. It creates conflict, at least in my experience, working with couples that, for example, the partner that in this situation was one couple that made one of the partners, both worked, by the way, had established careers and made almost equal amount. But one was the one that knew all the bank accounts, arranged, made the payments, the bills every month, and the other just contributed a certain amount and wanted nothing to know about the balances and all the details. And that created a big argument every time that a person decided to spend money without checking in with the other partner if they can afford to do it this month. So whatever system you're using, it's strongly suggested. It doesn't matter if one makes the money only, if one handles the money most of the time, makes the bills, pays the bills, receives the bills, budgets the family finances. The other partner needs to know, needs to be informed. You need to stay informed. So even if you don't work and you don't make any money, just knowing, being on the top of everything where the finances are, gives power. So knowledge about finances is as powerful as being the person that brings in the money for the family. Then another, again, whatever system you have, but if it happens that in this partnership, one person has a personality that is spending and entering a store and gathering the objects they want to buy and not even asking or checking the price, that style. And I don't know, I'm not going to call that person a spender. It's just a person that, let's call it, spends the money freely, opens the little purse very, very easily and very frequently. And then the other partner, it's extremely careful with their money, with their spending. So you see, that becomes part of the personality. And if two partners are together in a relationship and one is a more easy spender and the other is very careful spender, then the discussion and the awareness and knowledge about specific numbers and discussion before a certain purchase is made becomes even more important, that there is a place and time to talk about it. Time to allow the person that is more careful with the money to digest what is about to be spent. Because usually people that are careful with their money, that, maybe their partner will call them frugal. I don't want to use that word because it sounds like a bit as a judgment, because whether you are easily spending or more carefully spending, it's not one is not better than the other. It really depends on what. So the need to sit down and discuss it together becomes even more important. The need that both know at any time where the finances stand becomes even more important. Then we have a situation where one's income is quite more than the others, or one person works and the other person doesn't work. So if it happens that the woman's income, or the woman works and the man doesn't work, or the woman's income is, one partner's income is bigger than the husband's, let's say, in a heterosexual relationship, we have the workings again of the inner patriarch. That even if the woman is making more money, deep inside, they don't like it. They expect the husband to make us equal, to spend us equal, to contribute, to be able to find occupation that makes us equal. So that can create conflicts because of the effects of the beliefs of inner patriarchs that live in men and women. And of course, when the relationship started and is based only on money, so you married for money, for more security, for more comfort, then, oh yes, you have security artificial security, because as long as the relationship stays, you have that security of your partner that supports you, let's say, and that is the only point of connection you have, the ability to spend and depend. And that, of course, comes with a great vulnerability of insecurity. And I've seen where people that were supported and they didn't work and the partner made enormous amount of money. It for many different reasons, the relationship came to an end. If the person who was more financially capable agreed to share in an equal, or that was fine, but then you have the chance of not agreeing. So that's what makes you vulnerable. So to repeat what I said before, there is not one way that finances is the right way and the wrong way. But these points that I'm bringing up, whatever your system, if one partner doesn't know anything about the finances, that can become a problem. If one is a spender and the other is a bit more of a careful or frugal, and is not enough time to discuss expenses, that can become a problem. When the income is not equal, the patriarchal belief and the archetype in us activates, and that can create a problem. And if the relationship is based only, it was decided on finances, even if it's going well and it looks like financial security, there is always a serious vulnerability and financial insecurity built in. So how to, whatever system you're using, the best way to discuss finances is during what is called by Hall and Citra Stone business meetings in relationships. What is a business meeting? Exactly that. Think about your work. And whenever you had a business meeting at your work, people sat around, they had an agenda, a written agenda. You knew an agenda that was accumulated, written down in advance, prepared in advance. And then the meeting was about that agenda and decisions about the different items on the agenda. You see, if you are in a committed relationship, if you have, you are working, bringing income, having bills, having children, owning or renting your residence, you are running a family business. So a family business needs business meetings to be run smoothly. So a business meeting is a meeting that is scheduled at least once a week, when both partners are calm, not tired, is scheduled in advance, and is consistent. No cell phones, no children running around, no interruptions. And during the week, let's say, if you're doing it once a week, different things as different subjects, problems, wanderings, complaints accumulated, you write it on the agenda. And when you meet, you treat it exactly like a business meeting. You go through the items on your agenda and you discuss it and you come to a decision. In the agenda, it needs open communication, disclosure. In the agenda, items that can be included in the agenda, of course, the finances, financial decisions, financial statements, financial clarifications, financial desires, plans. That's the time and place to talk about it. And again, you go into the business meeting when you're both rested and calm. Otherwise, the business meeting can be the ground of unbelievable fights. So the business meeting, one of the necessary items on the agenda always is the finances. But it can include emotionally checking in with each other, scheduling vacations, weekly activities for the family, for the children, talking about the children, all different areas about parenting, talking about parenting challenges. You see, all responsibilities in a household, unless there's an agreement that the household responsibilities is gender divided. Again, there's no right and wrong way. If that's the way you run your house, more power to you. And if you run your household more in terms of all responsibilities are up for grabs, except if I happen to be more naturally talented and interested and excited, let's say it's my specialty about scheduling vacations, then that responsibility I will always hold. If not, it's up for grabs. Sometimes you do it, sometimes I do it. The laundry, sometimes you do it, who's doing it this week? So whatever is naturally you like to do, you can hold. Otherwise, the responsibilities can rotate. And the business meeting is where such decisions and changes are made. So, benefits of the business meeting. First of all, of course, it keeps the running of the household smoothly. But an additional benefit is that during the week, you don't have to keep remembering, reminding each other, checking with each other. Did you do this? Is that on the schedule? All of it is a schedule for the time that you meet for the business meeting. So it can wait. Of course, whatever cannot wait can be discussed, but it frees the relationship. It frees the time, the energy between partners during the week. That is a security that there's a time and place to talk about certain things. You know it will happen, so you can relax during the week and put your energy somewhere else. So that's it. That's the main points that I wanted to bring up regarding finances. And I will hold it here for right now.